when you see it, then you can do it to death, and then nobody will ever try and do it again and think they're funny. So essentially, this is what we'll be doing for the remainder of the workshop. And get me back to, oh, dang it. Okay. So this is going to require the most setup, because you saw how in the SSBot unit we were at times having to dip into the script editor and check on some things. Well, this is going to be entirely based around the script editor. What we're going to do is we're actually going to load up a script that's ready to be filled in with all of these values, and then just run the functions that set it up from like the run menu, and that's pretty much it. Like it's pretty stripped down. It's a little bit closer to the metal, at least as much as I can get it for you. But I've taken all of the opportunity that I can to sort of help out and make sure that it's actually working. And it's extensively documented, which is not the norm, even for the the previous ones that I've published. So anyway, let's take a look at that now. So first of all, yeah, this is the API-based TwitterBot template, and this is not the one that I've set up yet. Okay, this might be the one from here. Actually, no, it's got to be the one from my copy of the bot materials. Okay, just making sure that was the case. All right, so I don't have a really great idea for this, unfortunately. There was a time when I was actually working with my my test bot, and you can actually see, like, let's see, what was that called? Twitter.com/AH-testbot. I was looking for tweets that had the phrase "I'm so over," and then actually just recording ones that were starting with that, and then replacing it with "I just can't get enough of." That was, I mean, it was all right. It's not the funniest joke, but I might just have to do it because I'm out of ideas at the moment. If anybody has something they'd like to see me do, for example, you can certainly post in the chat right now. But otherwise, we'll just move on and probably do this as an automated fashion. So we will, first thing is we're going to log out of Twitter. And, oh, now remember that thing what I was saying about make sure you change your mobile phone preferences before you move on to the next bot? Yeah, I forgot to do that again. So we're going to actually do that. Bot burgers. And the password is whatever is in KeyPass. Okay, back to settings. Yeah, it's really unfortunate you have to be fastidious about this if you're trying to do a lot of bots quickly, but if you're only really working on a maximum of like one a day, shouldn't be too bad. The worst part is if you forget which one of your bots is the one you had the mobile phone tied to, then you have to log into each one and try and find which one is your phone number. Yeah, so at the same time, we'll take down the emails here again. I think I might need to try and write something for Twitter to let me change this, but I also think that I looked into it and they don't have the ability to change your preferences through the API. And that's kind of a bummer. All right, so now we can actually log out, and we'll start a new account again. We shall sign up, and the full name will be I'm Not So Over. Okay. And we'll generate a new password for this account right on the same place as before. All right, generate password. Boop, boop. Copy password. All right. Now, once again, this will be important to provide the phone number because we will be generating the app for this one again. All right, now grab the verification code for that. 693138. All right. Got it. No thanks. Just keep going. All right. And also, don't forget to email confirm. All right. Grab the confirm link, copy, and go to back to Firefox and do that. All right. So don't follow anybody yet. Now I like to, have my bots follow anybody who's relevant to the bot's operation. If you're just randomly searching stuff, that's not really anybody. I usually have them follow me. I also have them follow Lottie McNally, which is at Bot Ally. So that's essentially just it's an automated account. It occasionally retweets stuff from bots, and it tries to partially manually and partially automatedly figure out who's a bot, or a bot that at least people would want to follow or see output from, and then follows them back and adds them to the omnibots list. The omnibots list, despite having a little bit of incorrect data, is probably like the best list out there of cool and fun and arty bots that are made by people like me. I definitely recommend checking it out sometime. There's also a sampler page. I wrote this little random sample. I'm going to paste it into the channel. You go there to tiny.cc/omnibots. It will actually take you to a little Google script page that lets you see a random bot that comes off the omnibots list, and the segment of the timeline and some description about it. It's really cool, especially if you come across the tiny starfields type of bots, where essentially it's like emoji and box drawing primitives that make amazing little graphics just with the graphical resources that are available from fonts. It's a lot of fun. Anyway, let's move back to the Twitterbot template. Okay, so we got to go to apps.twitter.com. We have to actually make up our app. This is going to run pretty much just like last time, with one major difference. So first of all, name is going to be website. Doesn't matter really. Now, what's interesting about this is I'm going to leave the callback URL blank. And the reason for that is we don't need it. And I'm going to show you in a minute why that's the case. So we were here on the keys and access tokens tab before, and we sort of ignored this last part where it says your access token. What we're going to do right now is actually authorize this bot that we've made and we own to post as ourselves, right? So my bot, which owns the app you see here, is now going to get permission to post as the owner bot. Create the access token. And what you actually get here now, these are the two pieces of the key that you had to get through the authorization flow last time. Because I am controlling the script, I can actually just paste these in, and my Twitter library knows how to use them without going through the auth flow. So the access token goes here. The access secret goes here. Once again, don't forget, I'm going to be changing these after the stream's over, so don't try and reuse them to post as my account. Thank you. Let's see, back to the consumer key and secret. Those should look familiar because we were copying and pasting them over before. Careful about leading and trailing spaces. Once again, I really should just have those trimmed. It's kind of, because I know they're never going to be useful. but that may come from a future version of the library. All right. So if you're following along, don't forget this is the API-based Twitter bot template that's in your copy of the workshop materials folder. So now we've actually done the key and secret. We've created an access token. We've pasted that in with its associated secret. Now what we actually have are like 4 more fields. Now the first field is going to be a Twitter search. So essentially, this is almost the same thing as what you do in the Twitter search box. So if you went back to like Twitter and you actually did like, I am so over, you get like, you know, essentially these kind of results back. I'm so over everything, or, you know, like I'm so over the one-sided friendships, relationships. Those are really the kind of tweets that I'm targeting with things like this. So you notice that I had to use quote delimiting to get this treated as a phrase and not just the words I'm and so and over happening anywhere. So that's also important for the search query. And so I'm actually going to delimit this with single quotes instead of double, and paste in, not that, paste in the quoted phrase, I'm so over. Tricky part is, if you look at this, you see that the highlighting is a little bit different color here versus here. And that's actually because I'm using the apostrophe as part of my search string. And of course, you can see that the apostrophe is the same thing as the single quote mark that we're using to delimit the quote string. If you run into that, it's kind of an edge case, I know, but this would cause an error if we tried to actually run it right now. So what you want to do is prefix that with a backslash. And that essentially just means treat this delimiter as though it were just part of the string and not ending it. That also works for the double quote as well. So we could actually make this like, you know, quote, backslash, double quote, backslash, double quote, backslash, double quote on the other side. If I say any more about this, I'm pretty sure you're going to get lost. So I'm leaving it at that for now. But yeah, backslashes might be your friend if you're running into problems like that. Okay, so now what we have here is a regular expression that we can use to filter out things we don't want. So what I'm really looking for is tweets that start with the word I'm so over. So essentially, if it doesn't begin with the word I'm, and we would generally represent that by let's see, not this, or, well, I'm just going to like leave it as close as I can get as possible. So if it starts with I, or it starts